Welcome everyone, it's Matt along with Goo, and today we're going to finally talk about Hero Erdrick,
勇者だからさ、そうもいかないのよ。じゃあまた。
one of the most powerful units in the game, and for some people is the most powerful unit in the game. So stay tuned and see why everyone's been waiting for our hero. Alright, Erdrick
勇者だよ、勇者。しかも今日すっごく体調いいんだよ。やられてたまるか。故郷で母さんが待ってるんだ。俺は行くぜ。
is our leader for all of the heroes and is by far the most powerful leadership as well for heroes, with raised his attack power by 15%, which is just wonderful. His first skill actually doesn't come with him. You have to earn it. He actually gets skills taught to him and basically already has a smaller form of blossoming released along with him. And Keklang is his skill that allows you to put units into Keklang state, which is basically they will be immune to all damages and all status other than being pushed. And this you can use to yourself or any other ally. And if you are smart with it against the computer, you might be able to get them to focus on units that will not take any damage. It will be done until the next action coming up. So for them, so it is a pretty powerful. Basically, if you cast it on Erdrick, it will be his next action. If you cast it on someone else, it'll be when they take their turn. His first actual skill is Thunder Flash. Inflicts 200% physical zap damage and 40% causing stun. Nothing too fancy, but it is a decent physical attack skill that does have a good chance of casting stun, and is a good counter to a lot of other units. Next one is Phoenix Descent. Bang, non-reflectable bang spell damage to all enemies. And once again, this is great because this is spell damage based on his attack, which is one of the highest in the game. Does really, really great damage to units that dodge. Corvus! Excuse me. And also like Sorrow and other units too that have the dodge. You can use Bang on them to really take them through. Last is Eternal Sword, which inflicts a very large 400% whoosh damage and has a high chance of 60% lowering defense for 3 turns. Notice that he has 3 different skills with 3 different elements. So guaranteed you'll be able to attack them at least neutral, if not a very high chance of being able to attack them with a elemental advantage. His Awakening skill, odd turns until 10, attack, defense, agility, and wisdom are increased for 3 turns. That's just silly. Very, very, very good. Crack and Bang is 2 and 4. The third one reduces damage by 20% for the first 3 turns. It gives physical power 5% for all the physical skills. The last one gives him max HP 100 and another 5% physical power. For me, I'm kind of cutting ahead here. The third Awakenings where pretty much all of his power is unlocked. So that's a pretty good place for a lot of people that are going to be focusing on Arena, as Erdrick's a great Arena. And I haven't talked about his intrinsic skill. His intrinsic skill basically ignores all status effects. There's a very long laundry list that he gets to ignore for the first 3 turns. So that is pretty powerful on his end. It can be dispelled though. So that is a slight negative, but whatevs. His level 130 stats, his weight is 65. That is not a misprint. His movement is 3. His HP and defense are absolutely insane. Even with just getting him normally, he starts off with over 1,000 HP and 435 or 39 defense. So he can take a hit. Get him to the 3rd awakening. You're already into the 1200s for HP, almost 500 defense. And on top of that, you get that extra, is it 20%? Yeah, 20% reduction in damage. Remember, that adds on top of the reduction in arena, and that's why Hero is such a great unit, as he becomes pretty much just tanky and very hard to bring down. His attack is 592, so if you thought the HP and defense were a wonderful bonus, that attack is just absolutely insane. MP is 510, probably his weakest link, just because his skills, even when you use them, are going to take a very large bite into that, but that still allows him to act for 5 turns. Agility 476, the top 10% of units. Wisdom 312. Don't know why he has such high wisdom. He's not really going to be using it. And you can't teach him skills because he is a hero. So the wisdom's just a nice score, I guess. But all in all, a very powerful unit. So his preferred weapon's going to be, in Japan it was called Old Man. I'm calling it Erdrick Sword. Don't have it in the files right now. It gives hero physical power plus 5%, which is huge. On top of that, you get the attack power plus 30 and HP 30 as well with it. This will be done in the Dragon Quest 3 event going on. It will be a little later on. You need to get the Auricum shards. You can go take a look at the Dragon Quest 3 event to see where you can get those shards. But the good news is it should be possible for pretty much everyone in the game, other than, unfortunately, maybe brand new accounts may struggle to get those 15 shards necessary. 13 of them are pretty easy, or 12 of them, sorry. Getting the other 3 will require a little bit of work, but I think it's plausible for people to be able to do that. Erdrick Sword is insanely powerful. It gives hero types that physical power and whoosh power skills. Obviously, that's perfect for Erdrick, but can be used for other heroes as well, and mix and change. HP and agility are the others. His hero skill is called Giga Crosscut, and it is a 2-parter. It first starts with the purple here on the right-hand side of the screen here, and then goes with the orange. And yes, the person in the middle gets hit twice. So people in the purple get hit with 300% stat physical, and then people in the orange get hit with another 300% stat physical, which totals up to 600%. With his attack being as high as 592, and that's not including on top of whatever weapon you give him. He does a lot of damage with this, and it has a lot of what I would call side effects as well on the main unit. And then if if everything lines up correctly, you can attack a few other units as well for some pretty good damage. The only issue is it is zap. The good news is that most units that you're going to be fighting for aren't zap high resist, so it should be very useful in arena. At some point, obviously, it might become a little lower, and he'll lose a little bit of his luster in that regards, but otherwise, very, very good. On top of that, he learns quote-unquote other hero skills and has a what I call Blossom Door Light already, and you would be able to level and rank him up through that as well. So it will be kind of important to use him to be able to upgrade him to his full max. And when you do get the full max, you'll get the stats up here. Pros, cons, pull. Pros. Man, that special attack can do some massive damage. And it will be by turn 3, which is actually useful for arena. Especially if you've got like one enemy left. Erdrick will do damage and take it out. Keklang has interesting uses for PvE and potentially the PvP purposes, but not real-time PvP, unless if they're trying to do something and you're going to use it as a block. And even then, the more I talk about it, the more I can see some really weird but interesting solutions to that. But really powerful. He has 3 different attributes at his disposal with 5 skills total. The only negative I will say with this is the 4 skills that do damage all have elements, but because he has 3 different elements as stated, you will be guaranteed at least to get a neutral out of that somewhere, or very close to neutral if someone has the 2 already there, and then someone has a piece of equipment over on top, then possibly you'll have the 3. Otherwise, though, as I say, it's really hard to be that upset by having not a non-elemental there. Holy Guard makes Erdrick immune to most of the elements for the first 3 turns, and that's intrinsic. All the skills will be there. His biggest con, his weight is 65. It's not that big of a con, but it is a con. It is a little bit higher. And it will take a little bit of time to get him fully powered up with his mini blossoming skills. If you're going to say mad, these are really, really nitpicky. They are. So yes, I will pull. But for me, Zenlon is much better. Zenlon's not coming out for at least another week. Maybe 2, kind of depending on how they go. If we follow JP, should be coming soon, but we'll see. Erdrick is an absolute top tier unit, and I really want to get that 3rd Awakening cheaply. Most importantly, though, I am going to come out with Zenlons hopefully before the end of tomorrow, depending on how much time I have. Then I'm going to do a comparison of the 2 along with Zoma's Awakenings and kind of go, all right, here's the units, here's their strengths. Why should you go for 1, 2, or 3? I am a little bit later than I really would like, but I would like to set those up for everybody and so that people can have that understanding. Let's go with the A unit, Baramonster. He has a Confuse, Bent, just like Baramos. I do like this unit. It's actually kind of shocking how good of a unit it is along with Erdrick. Got good HP and defense stats, decent agility, and a decent wisdom as well. Has a skill that can confuse an enemy, another one that will occasionally lower spell resistance and rarely confuse, and the other one inflicts very large frizz spell damage. It's not boom like Baramos is, but Baramonster has frizz. But the big thing is, it's so based on confusion, and when you get that 1st Awakening, it does an occasionally 40% causes confusing when receiving physical attacks. And with its good defense and HP combinations for an A-level monster, it should survive 1 or 2 physical. So if you're going to be fighting Baramonsters, which I highly think that we will in the next week or 2 in arena or in real time, you're going to want to try to take Baramonster out with magic and not physical, especially if it's been awakened once, as it has a chance to cause confusion, which is really annoying. And that is what makes him a pretty good defensive unit. And if it's at 5th Awakening, it increases it by 10%, which is really, really annoying. And occasionally, at the 3rd Awakened, it could also increase defense for 4 turns. All on top of it, at the very least, a Baramonster is a very annoying A monster to fight against in arena. and is one of those RNGs. Could be fairly easy to beat or could be an absolute bear to beat. But the best way to get around it, as I say, is to use magic against it, as at least you won't have to worry about the counters. Leadership effect is decent for an A level, increases first spell power by 10%. So if we have only arenas to go through or only PvE battles to go through, Baramonster can actually be a pretty good leader. All in all, a very solid gotcha banner. So I hope everyone enjoys. As I say, you're going to see a lot of videos coming through me in the next couple of days. And this is a very exciting banner for a lot of people. So I do hope you guys all enjoy. Good luck, especially for everyone pulling. I know there's going to be a lot of people pulling. And once again, if people are like, Erdrick is just, I want to play as a hero. Well, the good news is he is a top 3 unit right now, and probably the top, and right now, probably the top unit. And then there will be Hero versus Zenlong. Zoma is a little bit behind, but still also going to be in the S+ range for the meta. So good luck, everybody, and enjoy.